Hi, today it's Saturday, August 8th. I'm Dr. Anthony James, Dean of the Somaveda College of Natural Medicine and Thai Yoga Center right here in beautiful Brooksville, Florida. And I wanted to reach out with you a little bit about my experience today going to the local big box electronics store, Best Buy, not far from me here in Wesley Chapel. I had to pick up a few things that are absolutely necessary for the school, as we're, like everyone, we're adapting and we're setting up a wireless classroom that we can do live video and live broadcasts from. I'm going to be doing some videos I hope that will be very helpful on hands-on chirothesia, laying on of hands, hands-on techniques for healing, for therapy and medicine. And so I had to go and get some electronics today, and I did. I went to Best Buy and big corporate store, and walking up to it, it's these huge signs, 6 foot high, 3 foot, 4 foot wide. Come on in, come on in. But wait, stop. Nobody's, for the safety of our associates and our customers, we're following all the CDC guidelines and Florida Department of Health mandates and laws, okay? And you guys know, if you've seen any of my other rants or possibly other presenters, that mandate is not a law, a suggested guideline is not a law, and there is actually no reason why they should require everyone to wear a mask, and that's even aside from the fact that masks don't work. They don't do what they say they do. Okay? That's a whole nother conversation. But the point of it is, though, is that even in the CDC guidelines and even in the Florida State Department of Health COVID guidelines, suggested recommendations, there are exceptions and exemptions. And so I wanted to, because I'm a minister, Native American medicine man and minister, and I believe that masks keep me from being able to speak to spirit, to speak to God, that God can't hear me if I'm mumbling and jumbling my words because I'm wearing some ridiculous piece of clothing attire, that it interferes with the free flow of prana and the vital life force that God gives me to provide life to me, and it causes me stress to not be able to breathe. And so for these reasons, I clearly qualify for exceptions. And also, just to make it easier, I wore one of Peggy Hall, the Healthy Americans Religious Exemption lanyard ID cards. Have one right here. This is it. Okay, this is it. That's what it looks like. And even though there's nothing in the law that says you have to have a lanyard ID card with the law clearly quoted on it to be able to exercise your rights, I find that people like those stinking badges, and they respond with official looking documentation. And I really didn't want to cause confrontation. I just wanted to get my electronic goods. So before I walked in the store, I turned on the video camera on my phone, just in case, I wanted to whip it out and have some documentation, which I ended up doing. And so I walked in, and the entrance, of course, all this signage on all the doors, mandatory, risks for our customers, risks for blah, 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 blah. And I see everybody walking into this really busy store today, it's Saturday, with their mask on, okay, all the sheeple herding into the store with their mask on. And they've got the entrance on the inside blocked off like a horseshoe with tables and with additional signage on the inside. And as soon as I walked in, the person who, I guess that's her job, started waving her hands. Stop, you can't come in, you have to have a mask, and if you don't have one here, we have a basket of them over here, and went to grab a mask, and like it's an emergency. Well, I'm a physician, I know what an emergency looks like, and that ain't it. I was like, whoa, whoa, no, it's no problem. I'm not wearing a mask. And then we got into a conversation from there. And I want to say this. So even though I'm not going to give Best Buy an A or A plus, A, because I think the signage is intimidating and misleading, because some of the signage refers to law that requires everyone in public to wear a mask, and that's just not true. And then second, the aggressive way that I was stopped and not quite manhandled, stopped just shy of touching me, of course, and then had to back off because they violated the 6-foot distancing while they're trying to yell at me through the mask that they're wearing in order to stop me. And then I had to explain. And I had, which I did in the most courteous and general way that I could. And then after hearing my explanation and looking at my card and seeing I'm a real customer, I've got a Best Buy card and all this kind of stuff, not only did they allow me into the store, but I got the premier concierge treatment. I mean, there was about 50 or 80 people who were in line ahead of me to pick up their items at customer service, and why they thought so highly of my religious exception that the nice lady actually ran over to the counter and got in front of the line and got all of my items, and then brought them back and got me a private cash register where she rang up all my items. And I really appreciated that. That was really nice. Although I don't really understand why I should be treated special or better, simply because I was being a normal person and not a sheeple. However, it's okay. And you'll notice at the end of this little clip that then she's very clear to tell me that I'm free to move about the cabin, that I can go on about my shopping, and the mask won't be an issue, and just, enjoy your day. And well, I was done. I just had to pick up a couple of items. I didn't need to be there longer, and so I just walked out. But a couple of things from this I want you to get. Number one, know your rights. Okay? There's no freedom without health freedom. There's no health freedom without informed voluntary consent. If you don't voluntarily consent to draconian mandates, rules, and guidelines that actually are not legal and are not law, and in fact, I feel very strongly that they're illegal and they're unconstitutional, and that they are a patent violation on many, many of my rights, not just my right of religious freedom, okay? But you have to know what those are, and you have to speak up. Do so in the kindest way that you can. We don't need any more meanness out in the world. There are people who are certainly providing more than their fair share of that right now, and we don't need to do that. And because as a spiritual person, I'm moved by love and by compassion, even for the nice people at Best Buy that at least made a cursory effort to violate my civil rights, but which they did back off once I explained to them and even asked the question, is that what their intention was, that they did actually change their behavior and they accepted what I was saying, which might make it easier for the next person who walked in behind me today. So it's just something to think about. Shout out to Peggy Hall again, the healthyamerican.org. Her religious exception card was helpful. I'm a minister in a church here in Florida, and we actually intend to make our own cards, because we're local and all that. But in the interim, I really appreciate the card from Ms. Hall, and support the work that she's doing. You should go and visit her website also. So enjoy the clip. Appreciate your comments, your observations. As always, please share if you can, and let's do what we can to be free every day, all day, in every way that we can, as we are, of course, entitled to as citizens of the United States of America. God bless, and have a terrific day. exempt from mask. I'm here to pick up an order. Under the governor's exemption, I have a religious exemption. I'm exempt. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can look at it.
Okay, and what are you picking up from?
Some electronic goods.
Did you order it
I've
already?
already paid for it.
Okay, let me get you because,
I mean, you guys are not discriminating.
no sir, but I'd like to make sure my employees feel safe and not
Oh, so they would be not feeling safe because they're discriminating?
Okay.
Actually, I just want to make sure that I'm not being discriminated against. So, and just so you know, let's see.
And I can look for the order.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
That's my BestBuy card.
Perfect. And you are Anthony J?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Would you like to see my ID?
Yes, please, I can get you your product.
Yeah, that would be terrific.
Okay. And did you have an order number? Or
Oh, sorry. No, I have it.
to grab it?
No, I
don't
have
wanna
it.
Touch people's stuff.
Ma'am, I'm also a medical doctor, and you're not at no risk.
Sir, people don't feel comfortable, so I just.
I know,
wanna
that's
make sure.
why I am a medical doctor, and I like to inform people.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So what else?
Tell me what it is you're picking up.
It's 3 items, electronic items. It's an adapter, it's
Okay.
an Apple TV
Okay.
unit, and an Ethernet cable.
Okay. Let's put that. Can you give me a couple of minutes?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Awesome. So the look of pure terror on the staff's face when I showed them that I'm have an exemption, and also tried to explain that it's discrimination to require a mask from someone who has legitimate exception, a religious exception, and so on. And it's very, very interesting how they're actually saying that they're following the law, and there is no law. There's recommendations and there's a mandate, but there is no law. So, very interesting. Yes, there's an Ethernet cable. It's two, one order, 3 items. Yeah, the adapter is probably the most important part. That's probably the cable.
Let me make sure. Maybe it's there.
Yeah, I got a notice this morning that the order was ready, but they, for some reason, had separated it into 2 different orders.
Oh, okay. Let me double check.
Even though I ordered them on the same order at the same time.
I know, but I'm like, Jesus, you have a lot of stuff. You have older stuff, you order for stuff. That's why. You have somebody who belongs to this store.
Okay, let me go back to the Give me 1 second.
Wonderful.
All right, here you go. I'm going to try to the best way I can. I don't want you to skip over it.
Thank you.
Take care of the day. You know what you're talking about? You have a card for hours. Why don't we just discuss on the 2 months? You know how it looks like. You have to guys do the plan for stuff like that. Do it, okay?
Everyone is required. It says they're following the CDC guidelines, but the CDC guidelines actually allow for exceptions, as does the state of Florida Health Department rules. Also have a series of exceptions, and notice that there's none of these, and it's actually illegal to discriminate access to a business against a person for their religious preference. Find it? Awesome.
Do you need a bag, sir?
Yeah, that would be terrific. And I'm gonna zip out, no problem. But you
No,
know,
you can
again,
shop.
but no, as I said, I'm trying to let everyone know. And I am so offended by what's going on. But I'm just trying to tell every person I talk to, so that it's
Sir,
we're
feel
trying to
free
communicate.
Come in and shop. We are not stopping anyone. from
Thank
that.
you.
So
Thank you.
You are more than welcome.
Thank you
to
for
come
that.
in.
Thank you so much. All right, have a good day. Okay, so and yeah, so in the end, she said that I could shop freely. You heard that, and that there would be no further requirement for me to wear a mask. And I have that documented, and that's all good. So I was successful in my mask-free shopping today using my Peggy Hall Religious Exemption card. Thank you, Peggy Hall.